Hello and welcome to my Freedom Planet stream. I'm Sheepdog or Steve, and I will be doing my videos usually on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Right now it should be Sunday if you're watching this live. I will be playing Freedom Planet through to completion, and then I'll look at something else afterwards. Now, as you can see, there's options here for adventure and classic mode. I'm going to go with adventure because out of the two I just think that will be a bit more interesting. There's a bit of story there, sort of just classic going through levels without anything in between. So I'll kick that off now. While it's starting, I'll just explain a little bit of why I'm playing it. It's basically a 2D platformer designed very much like Sonic. The style reminds me most of Sonic 3. First level, as you'll see in a moment, is very like the very first level you get with the Sonic and Knuckles Sonic game. Sorry, that introduces Knuckles. This game is very much about this fella here who has murdered an emperor and then using mind control has controlled his son and said, I'm going to take over the world. He started using some power crystal which he drained all the power from, and now he's invading lots of different lands around the world to steal their power. These two ladies here basically just seen something going on. Carol I don't really like, so I'm not playing as her, even though she's got a cool motorbike. I prefer Lilac, who, as you can see, looks like a girl Sonic. So I'm just going to stick with her. I always stick with her, but I've played this first level a number of times now. Lilac is just the best of the two. So yeah, you'll see Lilac's journey through. If the game ends really well, I might have a crack at playing it with Carol. So yeah, let's get on with it. First stage, Dragon Valley. Now, like I said before, this is graphically it's like one of the old Master System games, I guess, to an extent. But the gameplay for running reminds me very much of the earlier Sonic games, where you have to build up momentum without hitting anything for it to really give you any speed. So if you just try and walk, you're not going to get anywhere, but if you walk for a while, you'll start getting faster. Got the same springies, lots of slopes. A random card feature that I'm not really sure what it does, but I guess you get points for having more cards. Maybe there's, I think, if I remember rightly, there's 10 to collect in a level, so you can basically find out how many you managed to find on your way through. Bit of replayability there. The attacks remind me of Super Mario World, when you have your cape and you want to be able to kind of go through and whip everything out of your way. That's very Sonic and Knucklesy there. I suppose whether Sonic's have that kind of thing, but hanging, I remember that being in there. I like this, collecting the orange leaves. They basically allow me to be hit 7 times. I've got 7 on there, so I can take 7 hits, or 6 hits now, 5 hits now, slowly but surely going away, and I won't die until the last one of those is gone. Now you can kind of blitz your way through. I'm guessing that this here is a power up for Carol, so I won't pick it up for her because it wouldn't let me, but you'd think, she'd assume that her good friend Carol might need that. Power-ups for Lilac usually are these little weird lilac-coloured head things that live in cages who are alive. They're not just like extra lives in most games, they are just these random head things. I often find I'm leaping into things thinking they're going to hurt me, but they don't, and it's taken me till basically just then to realise I can really go in and touch the legs of that spider without being killed. Now I'm quite impressed with the way they've laid out these levels, so that technically I guess they've been programmed as sort of lots of different scenes, be that way of putting it. Someone who's dabbled with sort of game makers and whatnot, each scene would make up one big stage. So it's not a continuous run from left to right like in many sort of console games from the past or even now. There are sort of little pauses between just to load. I may have looked like I knew exactly what I was doing there, but full disclosure, I did record a run through that I didn't press record on, and it took me sort of 5 minutes to remember where that bit was so I could get through it. So I'm not the genius gamer that being able to just jump up and find that would make me look. As I just proved there. Right, so if I remember rightly, at least this level is made up of three, at least different. I think it's 4 different scenes. No, there we go. I forgot I'm standing right next to a spring there. Now, like many games of this type, there are lots of different ways you can basically go through and complete the level. You know, you can go through the top level of the stage, or you can go through the middle or the bottom. There seems to be an in-between option there as well. At the end of each one there's a boss, but I'm quite impressed with this particular one. I don't know if they're all going to be like this, but this particular boss basically follows me across the rest of this last scene, really. You can swim in it, which you'll see in a moment or so. There we go. Oh, I need some leaves. There we go. The game heard me. There's quite a few actually, a few times here where it'll stop to do a load. That's saving a lot of strain on my little MacBook. I probably should have mentioned actually for you guys that this is available on the Mac as well as the PC on Steam. I'll get a price for you next week because I didn't check, which I really should have done. I'll stick it in the write up so you can look at it underneath. If it's not there, comment and say, Steve, what are you playing at? Didn't really fancy trying to attack him there because it wasn't going to end well, and I know he's going to come back later on. Hey, Stumpy. Son of a... Oh, I see what he's doing. He's not quite the son of a gun that I thought he was. He's actually making leaves appear. I have to go underwater. I was like, oh, say it ain't so. You see that bar that goes up and down in the top left corner? I can only do my special move when that's full. So if you're ever wondering why I don't just spin dash, that's why. Thank you very much. Another Sonic-y moment here. Reminds me of when you're flying away from the Death Egg Fortress or whatever. I think it was the Death Egg in Sonic 3 at the beginning. It's dropping bombs on you, and usually you've got Tails bouncing up and down in the left corner because no one's playing as him. Just trap me in a little avalanche, why don't you? Thank you very much. Somehow he's got here. It's a move and a half. you reckon all snakes can do that? I like the way the ground is astonished before I get hit. It's like the dirt's going. Chew on that. And that is me done on stage 1, I believe. So, bosh, how did I get on? 8 minutes 43 seconds. Right, so my next video will be out on Wednesday, and it'll be stage 2. We do a stage an episode, so that'll be a stage every Wednesday, a stage every Saturday. I'll also be playing Minecraft with the other fellas, which I think we do 3 times a week at the moment. You've also got Pab and Kev, who will be doing their 2 games, Don't Starve, and a game that I forget the name of from Pab, which makes me awful. He has told me 1,000 times, but I haven't got it to hand. I'll make sure there's some sort of link to it in the end of the show. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.